Uh, Good day, everyone. So today we are discussing about demand curve, supply curve, and equilibrium. First is, what is demand curve? Demand curve is a table showing the relationship between the price of a product and the quantity of the product demanded. Uh, Example of a demand curve is the prices of a can rises. Consumer will have an incentive to buy less corn and subsidies for other prices, so the total quantity of a corn consumers demand will fall. So the price will appear on the left axis as shown in this PowerPoint, and the quality demanded are on the horizontal axis. Now let's move on to so before I forgot, what is demand curve really mean? So demand curve is, for short, is a graphical representation of the relationship between the prices of a goods or services and the quantity demanded for a given period of time. Next is supply curve. So supply curve is a graphic representation of correlation between the cost of a good or services in the quality supplied for a given period. So supply curve is like this in the supply curve is like this in the showed PowerPoint. The product prices is measured by vertical axis as shown here in the presentation. Vertical axis of the graph, and the quantity product supplied is on the horizontal axis. So supply curve again is a graphical representation of the relationship between product prices and quantity of product that a seller is willing to able to supply. Now let's move on to the equilibrium. So what is equilibrium? An economic equilibrium is a situation in which economic forces such as supply and demand are balanced, and in the absence of external influences, the values of economic variables will not change. Example of equilibrium. So potato sellers price a bag of potatoes at $5. However, nobody comes and buys that any bag of potatoes. Therefore, demand is way below supply. So what does equilibrium mean? So equilibrium is for me is important in economics to create both a balanced market and an efficient market. So if a market is at its equilibrium, prices and quantity, then it has no reason to move away from that point, because it's balancing the quantity supplied and the quality demanded. So that is the end of my presentation. So good day and God bless us all.